Yes.
The new control scheme, the slower game, everything that seems to be playing into your favor with a brand new game. Now your boys can really put into effect all the things that we've loved about them.
Yep.
Here it goes. This is your shot. This is your best opportunity. And if you played them as close as you did yesterday, you really can only learn things from that loss at that point. You got to look at it that way instead of, oh, we lost again. Let's learn. Let's move on.
Couldn't agree more. As we saw the map veto process, map number 1, we go back to training grounds. Colin, thoughts on the map? Is there anything you've specifically noticed so far from your time playing and watching?
From sitting on the analyst desk, I actually learned a lot more watching a guy like Franchise. When you get that overlook, that gives you complete control over the DB depot and that monument area.
Yep.
It gives you clear sight lines. It makes your Lancer, especially with how powerful it is now, your best friend in the world. But you see, it looks like we're going to have the same early split that we had in the first map up down here at the U.
Well, for now, we're on board with Mortifies from Mazer. And we're looking to try and be the initiators to the fight, but it's Craze that makes Mortifies pay. And already a one-man advantage for Use Finest. And again, to reiterate, if you are just tuning in, some big changes to Escalation. The first one we should mention is the respawn timer. We're so used to it being low early and getting longer later into the game. It is the exact opposite, Colin.
Oh, so you get those long respawns here early, so every little kill in these initial ice-breaking rounds really matters for your team.
Yeah.
Something I didn't like right there that I want to touch on is Mazer had that back spot on the U with 2 people. One of them close, should have had the shotgun out. The other one maybe should have had a Lancer so that they couldn't push him. It pushed him back, but it looks like with all that hesitation, all that delay, it's going to actually finally pay off for Mazer because the respawns got there quick enough and they could flip the map on its head and threaten early.
Even Trip Cap Domination could come through. It comes out of Felpsy to try and make the play, but Mortifies manages to hit the shot. C is being capped up. Is anyone even going to be able to get there in time? He steps off the hill to find the pick on a Jack, but there's Hydro from behind. A round-saving play. You could maybe make the argument if he stays in the hill and takes that first fight, the round could have been over, but he needed the advantage, of course. He had to force the first fight.
He has to go out there, try to make something happen, but better yet, I like what EU's Finest did. Even threat with the triple cap getting threatened. Look at those shots by Exclusive. He has 2 down already, almost got that 3rd. But back to my original point, all those early deaths for Mazer have come back now to haunt EU's Finest. It's like a shooting gallery out there, baby. He's playing a little duck hunt.
It's just laser beams. The accuracy definitely there. Craze is still down. He's waiting for his teammates to try and find at least an opening here.
It's giving him some time to think about things. All right?
That's
Maybe we shouldn't have pushed so quick. Maybe we should have slowed it down a little bit, taken a little bit. Now Craze finally just bleeds on out. Cannot tap up in this game. When you go down but not out, you must be revived.
And it's worth mentioning the reason he does that is because the COG team, as you can see, Mazer were going to win the round in 30 seconds. So he didn't want to wait any longer. He said, let me just concede my life. I'll respawn up and we'll try and make a play to turn this round around, essentially. 2-12 to 1-15. Mazer 15 seconds, and then we'll take round number 1. Lava doing a good job defending B.
There's some massive L triggers coming out from Lava, but with that elevation change too, that Nasher hurts just a little bit more. Big shots out though. They're gonna have to win this fight. It doesn't look like they will. And I believe with only 2 seconds left, I think we can chalk this one up on the side of Mazer.
I think we can. I think we safely can. And we'll take round number 1. Lava doing a good job defending B towards the end, making sure that EU's Finest couldn't push through.
So here's something that I'm really interested in, Ben.
Yep.
So we saw the first matchup go and how all the weapon placements went. I want to see if there's a completely different set of meta. We saw early on that Marksa get placed by Reciprocity. It was countered by, I believe it was Shocks was the first placement on the side of Rise. And here we see a Marksa again, but instead of down there at the range, it's in that B fight.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. On the side of Mazer, you're basically saying, come fight us. We won that fight. Come fight us right now.
And you're gonna give that marks up to one of those players. A lot of those guys are actually not as much known for their accuracy, but they can use it just as good. That Marksa has been upgraded. Yeah. It's still 3 headshots for a kill, and they've added bullets to the clip in Gears 5. They made it a little bit easier to use if you are a little shaky with the aim.
We'll see how round number 2 is going to start. Of course, it was a scrappy fight in round 1 of us towards B, but it was one which ultimately Mazer walked away with. EU's Finest just being patient.
So right here, Ben, I want to make a note of this. If you see where EU's Finest is taking forever, checking every corner, they're not pushing up on those 2 members of Mazer on that back U. That early aggression by Mazer ends up getting somebody killed, but then EU's Finest takes forever to capitalize on it. They've got to find a point in time to just get up and go. They got to find a little giddy up.
Right. And unfortunately for Krim, it's a 1v2 on his home hill, and this, the prime example of valuing your life. Maybe last year, you would have seen him just try and trade his own life out, go for a 1-for-1. This year, not going to be the case, as now the retake for the home hill will come through. Krim looking to try and land at least a little bit of damage. The support is going to be there, but Mazer, they're stacking EU Finest home hill.
Mazer's got one down, now cleaned up. And again, it just seems like everybody's like creeping along, but look at the big flank by Sneak. He might make something happen. Now there's 2 members left on that home hill. And again, Krim is left all by his lonesome. Somebody's got to make a move. They've got to get the comms going.
Yep, it seems, as you said, maybe pace a little too slow, right? We mentioned they were a slow team and the game got slower, but didn't quite mean snail's pace. You still need to at least to be a little proactive, as now Mazer will take this round in 70 seconds. Still a home hill setup. Finally, EU's Finest break through. That is their home hill they're retaking control of. Craze now left to defend B. And they get the setup.
He gets 2. Here comes Jack and Krim. So it's now a 3v4 over there, because you see one more member of Mazer coming in through. But then again, the over-aggression early by Mazer falls right into those hands of EU's Finest. It's almost like Mazer's a little too aggressive and EU's is a little too passive.
It's weird, right? Because if EU's Finest get the setup, then their playstyle works perfectly. But you have to be maybe a little more aggressive to get the setup you so desperately need to win these rounds early. But round 2 now could be in favor of EU's Finest. 50 seconds, and they will take it. About to have a lead change, 158, 158. EU's Finest now do take the lead. They've wrapped back towards our home hill because they know this push is coming.
And there's the flash out. Exclusive doesn't even get stunned, but by the time he comes out of that roll, is dead. Hydrone's gonna have to clean up maybe one more, and he does. Before going down, now Lava, all up to him to make this happen, make this push happen, because you're down to 25 seconds, Ben.
You are down to really not that much time at all, and I'm honestly surprised that the revive didn't come through there. Lava was able to take 2 down with him. So really good stuff from him, but it is 221 to 190, and you're left in a situation
Look,
where, yeah,
they're saving their lives. Save your lives. We are winning in 8 seconds. There's no reason for us to push. There's no reason for us to waste the respawn. Smart play. If Craze gets that kill on Sneaky, all it's going to actually do is give you a little bit of a stat board.
I'm pretty sure Lava just spawned in at the very end of that round.
Did his weapons light up?
Yep.
Oh no. Look over here. Oh, we missed it on the board. Also, I'll have to check because he had 4, so he would go back to 5. If he's at 4, he did misstep.
Keep our eye on it then, because that was something that we noticed. It happened a couple of times, but it's just because it's a new mechanic, right? Players still trying to get used to it a little bit.
Might be spamming X button, trying to just out of
Get me back in the
frustration.
action, please.
I can't wait any longer.
I mean, it was a good round from Lava, to be fair. I mean, he managed to, as I said, when he pushed over towards EU's Finest home hill, made a very good play.
There we go. Lava. Lava's at 4. He did.
He did. He spawned in at the end.
Must have been a little misclick.
I was staring at it because he was the only player that could potentially respawn, and he did respawn at the end. And again, it may seem super trivial, but when you get to the later rounds, the round 6s, the round 13s, the spawn timer is so low, you need as many respawns as you possibly can.
Just in case, of course, when the game is on the line. But look at that, 2 downs coming out. Those shocks are through. Here comes a flashbang. They're looking to clean people up, but Ben, the chaos again, the over-aggression by Mazer, I think is just going to continue to be a thorn in their own side. They've got to learn that they're going to wait for you. They're going to bait you into that.
They definitely are. And one of the things, just as we were talking about lives, is Mortifies is now down to his final 1 life, and we've only seen 2 rounds so far. That is if he gets cleaned up. And speaking of Mazer, I'd love to now set it to a listen-in with Mazer themselves.
4B, boys, POE. Flip. You guys got all 3 get out. Go. Oh, I'm not baby. Go through my map. No, it's fine. Lava. You guys need kills or what? You guys gotta just sneak through. There you go. Take your time, Ezzy.
There's gonna be 2.
He doesn't see you.
Nice. I just spawned up.
We can play to hold this.
Watch in the back. I'm watching the back.
There's a kid bottom step. 2 bottom steps. They got a mark system.
The only reason we should have
I'm gonna try to. No, Marks is in the back. I'm gonna keep it tight. That's Markser. Crazy's Markser.
Push it up.
I'm coming.
I'm gonna try to get to
I'm gonna shot.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm about to flash up there, boys. I'm flashing the stairs.
Yeah, one on spawn, guys.
Push your spawn right now. Push your spawn. Listen to me.
Okay, go.
There's 2 on plat.
I can shoot them. I think one shot, flip. I'm behind it. I'm down. I got shot in the back.
Back.
I think one shot, flip.
Bro. I'm open. You got spawn?
One shot, flip.
I'm good on second. Yo, you guys get ready to come to B.
No, Marks is up top. There's a Marks overlook and there's one on the U. On the Y.
They're pre-setting up for the B fight, though.
not 7. 3 games. What's the plan?
I'll make one last good retake.
Alright, are we going to B or are we going to C?
Maybe we should go B. Well, I mean, you guys can fake them out. Like, even if you go home, you gotta cut them in, bro.
Why is this camera so broken?
Matter of fact,
Yo, I say we down crates. Let's try to
listen,
down crates.
Can
I say we all try to down this kid with the Marksa.
Okay,
what's
okay.
that?
I was gonna say somebody
Overlook.
hide on bottom and try to flank around.
Oh, yeah.
I could do that.
Somebody, like, just, like, secret.
Where's he at on Y? Anybody know?
There's a kid wide. I know he's
I
on
think he's
Y.
back
And
wide.
there's a Marksa up top.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
Where's the kid Holmes,
I'm
Justin?
gonna try to.
Yeah, he's up to right where I'm at.
Listen. I'm
Okay,
gonna
alright.
I'm gonna stun the kid Y, and I'm gonna stun the cross. We're gonna push up top overlook. Two of us.
I'll stun overlook. Right? You just gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for
3,
it.
2, 1. On 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Shock up there.
I flash him again, go.
Just overlook.
I got shocked.
One more time.
Whip up down. Fuck, man.
Oh, where's someone else?
That's
So
left.
good. So good. Let's go.
All
Next
good.
round.
No one's
Go.
Okay, baby.
I think they're
That was a listening with Mazer's comms, and Colin, they formulated a great game plan. But unfortunately for them, EU's Finest had a pretty good counter.
You can only plan for what you're going to do. You have no idea what your opponent's going to do, and EU's Finest said, I don't care how many you send through here. I have an electrical field of a shock grenade waiting in my pocket for you.
And it's so important, again, to reiterate just how strong shock grenades are in Gears 5. Gears 4, you got hit with it. It's like, it's a nuisance. It's annoying, right? But you can just tap back up. In Gears 5, you can't tap up. So if you get hit with it, you're essentially just down and out. It's a free kill. You're forcing a teammate to come revive you, but your teammate can't revive you straight away because you're in the middle of a shock grenade.
They've actually done a beautiful job in this game with managing the area of effect damage, the AoE damage of both the shock and the incendiary grenades. Once those explode now on the ground, that little area where it's still affected, as you said, it's almost like a free kill. Those things are two of the most dangerous weapons that I've yet to see really get implemented, but I hope we get to see more, and you see utility grenades coming out for Mortifies, so now they're going to probably have some more shocks, maybe a smoke or two. We might actually get to see our first smoke action.
I do want to point out, in terms of Mortifies, he's down to 2 respawns left. Lava's down to 3. When it comes to spawn management, so far, big advantage EU's Finest. I think it's just simply because, again, when they get that setup, they're more than happy to sit back. They'll win every single round now based off points. They'll let it go as long as they possibly need to. When they find themselves now with a 2-1 advantage here in map 1 of the second series of the day.
And it's a beautiful thing to be able to see teams make and hold a defensive stand. I think it's one of my favorite things about Gears 5 so far is that we've gotten to see teams actually use setups, use their Lancer, use their ability to look for lanes and control them.
Completely agree. As once again, EU's Finest at their home and mid-neutral. They'll concede their home again. It's pretty much deja vu from a few rounds prior.
That first shot on exclusive with that Marksa, 33.4%, because that third shot, if it hit the next two, it hit the head, another headshot. Clickety-clack goes bang. Love that Marksa right now.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of damage, and it's what we expected from this EU squad. And it's Hydro
They're going to flip the map.
pushing over towards,
There you go.
again, Mazer's home hill here. That's where these two players from EU's Finest currently are. They know the pressure is going to come through. They can hear that. Audio cue enough. They at least neutralize it.
I just want to speak on that for a second. I don't know if you and Blaze had a chance to talk about it in the first matchup, but in this game, the footsteps are actually unbelievably loud.
Yes,
you
hear everything.
Oh my goodness gracious, you can hear them from a mile away. I don't care if they were trying to be church mice. Ain't no way and ain't no how they're going to sneak up on you.
Yeah, you really do have all the information. Players running off Sworn, and that's how Hydron is trying to play the home hill, but Mortifies hits the shot. Hydron down and out. Lava will clean up Jack as well. So the round won't end here. Mazer will survive. They'll prolong it. But EU's Finest again, back with the setup which works so well for them. They're home and mid-neutral.
And with those 2 kills, Mazer actually blows all their respawns. They're going to get everybody off map because they're going to try to flip this now. They're going to try to make this a point of emphasis. You see how they flooded over here to the B hill, 4 deep. And Krim, he's going to try to make something happen here on that back U.
That's such a good stun, but it wasn't enough. And unfortunately, Hydron's going to be left out to dry. Krim has done well just to escape. Teammate is there to support.
They still haven't gotten in the hill, though. They've got the positioning. Somebody get in it and break it, at least. Nobody's shooting at you.
40 seconds. Otherwise, EU's Finest will win the round. Crazy's going to fall. And now I think if you're EU's Finest, you're trying to calculate. Do you still win here
Jack
on
waiting
one?
in the wings, but he got left by himself. His teammate ran from him. I think that might be a miscommunication.
Oh, maybe not.
Double-
Because he got 3 downs, but the shock grenade came out. And
comes the
Jet's up
flash.
screaming. He's like, help.
Another stun, another shock in the backside. So all the shocks are out, keeping people down and damaged. Look at this.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. A scrappy end to this round as EU's Finest just pushed straight through. They're going to get even more kills. Round number 3. almost over, but wait, Mazer going for a sneak cap right underneath EU's Finest's nose. Is anyone even gonna be able to touch the hill? They do just. Sneaky, almost to his namesake, was being pretty sneaky, and now all of a sudden, 24 seconds, and it's gonna be Cock Team that win.
I love the retake by Mazer right there. Great defensive stand, and then Jack gets left by himself, but Mazer didn't panic. Even with 2 down, they continue to get everybody back picked up. They continue to hold over the B hill. If you're crazed, don't flood after this. You got to almost run past him.
You may need to go for a win condition of just killing everyone. That could be your only play because you got 4 seconds.
They broke B. They got 2 seconds to get on the hill, but it won't be enough. They don't have enough time. They don't have enough time. So Mazer's going to get that round, and we are going to go to 2-2, Benson. Those last 35 seconds made me feel like I was going to have a heart attack.
That was chaos. The shock grenade did so much damage that you thought that was surely the end. Then Sneaky snuck behind enemy lines.
All pun intended.
Capped the home, well, decapped, almost capped, but backed away. Bought his team so much time. A fantastic play, but again, I have to reiterate, in terms of the respawns available, Mazer are just plowing through them. Plowing straight through them.
They invested a lot of those resources, and again, not just weapons now. You really have, and the disable comes out, they locked up those shocks. Those shocks have been so effective for EU's Finest that Mazer went ahead and got rid of them for 3 rounds, but that also keeps them from upgrading that weapon further. So now for 3 rounds, you don't get those shocks that have been in your back pocket, and you cannot continue to.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about them upgrading it to anything even further. And now Hydro, they're going to go ahead and build up the other side of their home hill. So both support trees already getting a little bit of the support in them.
I will say it makes some sense, right? You know, you're using your lock to stop progression. And also, more so for the shock grenades, right? The shock grenades have been annoying. You've seen the impact they've had. I understand trying to block that out. But I said it earlier on, and I spoke to Franchise after map 1, and he kind of agreed, same sentiment. The lock is so powerful. It really can dictate late game. That's
a game closer, basically. You want to put that out there after 4 or 5 round wins, because then you can almost guarantee if they don't have this anymore, we might be able to get to 7.
So interesting use from both teams. They hope to use it early on. What effect that might have a little bit later.
Finally, Mazer's over-aggression here at the B hill pays off in their favor. You see that Lava gets that Marksa in his hands. He's going to have a chance to probably use it here. Big shots coming out. He's going to be able to put... No, he will not be able to put Hydron on his back. He's got to be able to get that down right there when he's in the middle of a 1v1, not in cover. That's a big misplay by him, but Lava, he's going to pull back over to the B hill. They're going to have a little bit of a defensive hold because EU's Finest have effectively flipped the map on them.
Yep. They have the home hill set up, A and C locked in by the Europeans. There's Lava looking to just put down any shots he can, any damage at all. Assist his teammates on a potential retake. And a glance at the minimap, you can see the retake's going to come from Mazer's home hill. It's going to be the A side. 3 players have rotated over towards that side. And again, Lava looking to just put any damage down he possibly can. Crim's going to have to be careful, needs to just back away. That'll be full red.
I'll tell you what, that new reticle for Gears 5 on that Marksa makes it so much more deadly because you not only have the diamond, but that little circle in the middle let you know exactly where that bullet should be coming out at. Makes it just a little easy for you to go, all right, I need to hit this thing 3 times on their head.
You make it sound so simple.
You know, everything sounds easy, right?
It sure does. And then you try it against the best players in the world and you realize, it's actually not that easy.
You know, practice instead of preaching. Practice instead of preaching.
Exclusive makes his way over towards A, and he's, of course, back to 2 respawns. Mortifies has 0 left. If he dies again in this round, it is effectively a 5 versus 4. Hezi immediately respawns, and he's still got 3 left, so he used that effectively. Lava, big shots. And this is where, if you're EU's Finest, you try and find Mortifies on the map. You call him out and you say, we kill this guy, we have a big numbers advantage, but EU's Finest getting caught crossing.
I think Lava's got a hair trigger on that Marksa because he's been putting out shots quicker than I've seen most, quicker than a hiccup almost, Benson.
He's been landing them as well. More importantly, though, it will be Mazer winning the round in 30 seconds. Kill.
He missed the reload, and that's beautiful play by Lava. Lava gets down there, he forces Jack to go for a reload. The missed active causes the jam. He gets the revive and the shot and the kill.
And all of a sudden, you use Finest pushing the home hill again. The decap, 216, 204. Again, first to 250. That will change the win condition. Now it's EU's finest, winning in 20. Lava may have to back away. Mortifies is down and out, by the way, for the round. This now a 5v4 with 14 seconds left. Mazer stole the last round. Can they somehow do it again? Sneaky's left defending B, but Hydrone's there. He recognizes he doesn't even need to push it. Don't even risk it. Concede the round. You're absolutely right. Turn it into an eco.
So they economy the rest of their lives right there, but now Morty, again, I want to push that point home. If I'm EU's finest, if I'm Rubik's, the man with the plan behind him, the coach for EU's finest, if I'm him, I'm saying, look, every time we see Mortify's marked, I want 4 Lancers on that kid. Yep. I want him down and out as soon as possible. The second you can get it to a 4v5, you might as well kick back and relax.
Pretty much, right? The only downside is Hydrone at 2. So both players very, very low. As we head into now the final round of the
Krim
half.
got a pistol, so they upgraded Krim's secondary. So his snub now could be either that Talon, that beautiful Talon, or it could be the Boltok.
Boltok, yeah. We'll see.
Sneaky looking over that little cubby. So the overlook position, Ben, just for those at home, if they think it's on top of that overlook, it is not.
It's under.
It is inside of a closet underneath that overlook, and that is where the boom shot will be. As glorious as that boom shot is to get, you've got to put yourself in a corner to get it. You got to go into a room with just
rough,
2 little
right?
cubbies.
Yeah, it's rough. When we were playing, I think you were the guy that was playing down there. You're like, this is pretty hard.
I don't like this. I didn't like it.
This isn't easy to get. Definitely changes the fight a little bit.
I was looking to tag out most of the time. I said, somebody else want it? Somebody else want it?
I'll concede. Well, Exclusive is going to grab it straight off the rip. And he does escape with his life. So when you have that boom, it is, as long as you don't completely botch it, a free kill.
So he's got 1 shot in it. He's looking for where best to place it, because if he only gets a decent shot, they're crazed down, but they don't even get the cleanup. He wasted that boom, I think, trying to get the kill, but he only got it down. So now they've got to flood through here. They've got 2 more members of EU's finest up here to contend with. They're getting great shots on. Exclusive has to throw his life away. So effectively, even though they win that outcome, I think the trades are still in favor of EU's finest. All those respawns that Mazer invested early might come back to bite him here in these last 2 rounds of the half, or the last round of the half.
It could. Exclusive is down to his final 2. As we said, if Mortifies dies again, he's down and out. Hydrone's down to his final life. Jack has 2, so the game may slow down a tad here.
5 out of 5 respawns.
Who would have thought?
El Capitan, Phelpsy, has decided, I want to be here for the entirety of the final round.
Hey, man, there's a player that can clutch up consistently. He's on your list, right? So you want to make sure he has as many lives as possible in these late rounds. Again, the respawn at the lowest it can be.
Oh, Crazed has to hide again. So if I'm them, I'm going to try to throw a flash at him. I need somebody to push up on him. You've got to make him get that Marksa on me and then force that issue. He goes to the active. That is so heinous. Lava, though, getting the 2-piece right there. Can he get the 3rd? No. Exclusive comes in to pick up the 3rd. And Krim now in a 1v1 against Lava. Krim fighting for his life. He's going to get pinched out now.
This is just chaos.
One after the next, like dominoes, Benson.
And as soon as EU spawn, they're right back in the fight. And the same can be said with Mazer.
Here they come.
Once again, the fight continues. The score, 153 to 132. It's still Mazer with a 2-1 hill advantage. And somehow, to Mortify's credit, he has stayed alive long enough where it's actually Hydrone that is down and out for the round. There's a 1-man advantage for Mazer. They have the lead. They have the map control. But boom, could be a deciding factor.
Exclusive now throws away a life, going in there to get them to use that boom shot. So they no longer have a boom shot in their hands, but Exclusive will still have 2 lives to live. He's got 1 respawn to his name. He's going to use it, and then he's going to use that respawn. He's down to his last life. Morty's on his last life. You see, basically, Mazer is everybody's on their last chance.
But it
last chance lands.
13 seconds. 13 seconds. If you're EU's finest, you somehow, with a man disadvantage, have to make the play. The push to B comes through. You get 1 down, but you need someone. You need someone over towards C. It has to be split push. B isn't going to be enough. Is there anyone over towards C? The answer, sadly, is no. The push came through, but Mazer was there to defend. Colin, we go in the half all tied up, 3-3.
All knotted up here, Ben, like you said, and I think one of the things we have to take away from that is right there at the end, the composure by whoever had the Marksa for Mazer was doing a perfect job of just landing shot after shot. I almost thought I was watching an action movie. I'm so used to that thing having such a few amount of bullets in the clip, and they just kept shooting. I said, Jesus, somebody reload, please. But nope,
landing the shots.
Clack, clack, clack. I gotta get used to that, I guess. I'm used to that Marksa being, limited, but Not on that midline. That thing ain't limited out there.
It's definitely powerful. Very, very powerful indeed. And of course, again, if you are just tuning in, it's worth mentioning, weapon placement, you put something on the map, it stays there the entire game.
Morty gets a pick and an early kill on Jack. Sneaky now. Krim is going to shoot down on him with that Boltok, and Ben, it looks like EU's Finest is trying to figure out what they need to do here in this map, because it seems like every time they get a bit of an advantage, it just immediately dissipates before their eyes.
He does. He was able to find Sneaky, though. And after the dust settles off the initial, because we'll probably likely see the same initial for a couple of rounds at least, because of Boomshot's placement bottom mid. EU's Finest again with a 2-hill setup. D still not capped. Mesa will grab their home hill now. EU's Finest will start to build the lead. But again, that slow pace from EU's Finest, it works very well when they are able to get full map control in the setup they want. But you just feel like a tad increase in speed.
Just a little bit. I mean, you ain't gotta slam pedal to the metal, man. But you might want to at least put the big toe on the accelerator. Something, just creep along.
It's a small increase, anything at all.
And now you see the beautiful setup. And I love how we can see this through the X-ray up here on this corner. You can see how Mazer starting to put their resources. There's 4 members of Mazer over there on the E hillside, that neutral hillside. So if I am EU's Finest, I've got to get somebody up there to challenge Hezi, because you've got to basically take away that mid lane to be able to shoot down on top of them.
In terms of the boom spawn, 30 seconds. Now do bear that in mind. That's going to have a big effect on the outcome here, as you'll see players start to shift over towards the boom placement. And you already have one player from Mazer actually inside. You see
2 players from Mazer, though, set up perfectly. Look at Exclusive. He's got the sight line. He's got the angle.
Stun goes through. There's 2 players in there, but Hydran's able to assist Phelpsy. Mortifies falls, and well, the boom in 3, 2, 1.
They're going to go for a body block play right here. Body block play is where one member stands in front of the other one. The back one picks it up, so that if anybody tries to rush you, you got a shotgun waiting for them.
Yep. Makes it a little easier. In the worst case, you trade out with that boom. That's absolute worst case. As Krim finds a kill onto Sneaky, and with 58 seconds left, this could be the end.
So he picks up that Marksa. Great patience there by Phelpsy. Waits for him to remantle the cover. The Marksa play has been taken out. He might be able to find it on the ground, but I don't know if he can. He picks it up, and he almost takes a death for it. And he runs it into a waiting Hydrone to take out Hezi. So now Phelpsy with the overlook position to his name. They have the point lead. They have the Marksa. They have the positioning. I think we're going to see a 4-3 because there's only 10 seconds left.
If you're Hezi, do not spawn in here.
Yeah, do not. Do not. Okay, he's waiting. He's waiting. Good save by him. EU's Finest takes the first round of the half, and they have one more round before they get those shocks back. So.
Oh yeah, because of luck.
And I think that's a big thing. I think that's been probably the biggest thing that has stayed in Mazer's favor. Ever since they got to lock those shocks, Mazer's really been able to do as they please there in that back use. So as soon as those shocks come back for EU's Finest, which I believe they are now, and EU's Finest is going to use either an upgrade on them to get a power weapon, they can get the drop shot, or they can upgrade the opposite side, the support side of their home hill, which would have been first half, and get incense. So now you give yourself a little more utility. Okay,
like that. Like that. You obviously were talking a little bit about the incense earlier on. We'll get to see those in action. Shock grenades as well. Placed by Sneak.
So here's the smart play about that. They don't go ahead and go directly for the drop, because if they win this round and they go up, they get the first weapon placement again, and they can go ahead and put drop on their home anyway.
That's fair.
So they go ahead, get those insids, they get a little more utility, they can block something off. They can get that insid and throw it straight into that cubby to try to keep that guy from getting the boom and getting out.
We'll see how
they gave up the boom shot again early. Morty's has the boom shot again early. And he gets out with his life.
That was way too easy.
Just so simple. Hydrone, they sacrificed the boom shot for the Marksa.
Well, we'll see if it pays off. It might. You just got to be really accurate now, though.
Yeah, you got to make sure that rocket is not as accurate as your bullets.
Yeah, it's tough. Real tough.
You just got to be in the area code for that rocket sometimes. You just got to feel you got to be in the area.
The opening. Both teams cap their home. Again, EU's Finest do have the advantage here. Small one, 4-3. Very close game one.
So Mortify's here is overlooking the E hill. I think they're waiting to see for somebody to push. It's going to be almost a stagnation. You're going to see both teams set up and wait for somebody to make the first move.
Might take a while, but if it did stay like this, Mazer would win the round.
Eventually. I would be about 46 years old, and I'd have a new mortgage. Be nice.
It's just a 5-point lead as is. And if you use find this, you have to first of all find the boom. You know where Mortify's is. When you find him, that's when the rotation is going to come through. But if you're Mazer, you're waiting to read the information EU's Finest is going to give you on how to rotate across the map. It's completely
Mortify's. It was Mortify's.
The Ensign from downtown shuts down the boom.
Call Kobe B. Bryant. That thing was from half court almost. He threw that thing as far as he could, and it was nothing but net there on Mortify's. And now Sneaky has to pick up that boom shot from the ground so they don't lose it. They don't lose control of the power weapon.
Does still have it.
But next time, you might want to just watch your head.
That was a wonderful Ensign. Very well played. It just shows you you're never truly safe as more shots come through. And I mean, now you have Hydrone on this side of the map as well. Phelpsy there to assist. And you just feel like this is all being so patient. Crim now with an Ensign. You have all this utility able.
Another boom shot. They have 2 shots now because they have 2 different booms with 2 different players. Exclusive, though, is stuck in that corner. He's stuck in there. Here comes Mortify's with a stun.
Another Ensign available. The boom is used. That was on Jack, who was chasing the new boom, but there's still one left.
New boom is, so Exclusive died with boom in his hand, so it's on the ground. Nobody's been able to pick the new boom back up, and I think Exclusive didn't even have it out, so I do believe it's been wiped off the map. And another kill comes through with the incendiary grenades for EU's Finest, so that weapon pick is paying dividends.
And more importantly, throughout all that chaos, they were able to get their hands on the mid-neutral hill. So 2-1 is the advantage for EU's Finest. They'll win this round in about 47 seconds. Keep your head down, Sneaky. There's Phelpsy.
Shock grenade.
Looking to land
Shock
some
grenade.
shots. That was a great shock. He just
My
connected with
gracious.
3. Wow, the utility use out of EU's Finest this round has been second to none.
I saw him warming up out back. I'm telling you right now, he threw a fastball a couple of times. I said, he ain't no way he's getting over 100 miles an hour, but he had to with that one because that was cross map, baby. And there will be the end of that round, 5-3. EU's Finest, those shocks are just so deadly in their hand. The utility.
Watch this. Watch this. We just got a highlight here. We have to see that throw. It was incredible. Their utility use has been insane.
Okay, so
watch this.
You see, Morty,
this is
everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're all good here, Morty.
Boom.
Oh no, wait.
We're not good.
We're not good. Oh, okay. All right.
Guys, I dropped boom. That's basically the
Boom's
call
on the ground. Boom's on the ground.
Rubik's knows. Of course, the coach saying that was boom shot. Really good stuff again. And I mean, now you get even more utility placed on the map. The frag grenades, that's going to be over on the other side of the map, though. Still that boom mid-map you got to worry about.
They're going to go for a loadout? You really going to go another secondary? You're going to give somebody else stuns? Nope, you're going to go for a pistol for Sneak. So you're giving Sneaky a little bit more utility with his secondary. I love that they upgraded from the Ensign to the frag, even though the Ensigns were pivotal in that round. They played a big factor. Now you can use that frag, and I see a lot of teams do this early this week, but they were using the frag as crowd control, just kind of funneling people into the right direction. If you could throw a shock on one side, throw a frag on the other, hey, heck, you gonna go,
Pick
boy.
your poison, right? Pick your poison.
Here they come.
The fight
shock
for
out.
boom is so simple. Morty gets it, but Crim does find the kill.
So the boom should be on the ground, I believe, because Mortify's died, and I don't know if he had it on his back.
Maybe you would assume, but we'll wait and see.
Down.
As the shocks are out, Inclusive will find the pick onto Hydrone. So with the EU's Finest up 5-3, the openings have really, it's 3D chess. That's how these openings have felt.
Frag in, they're gonna force him out. Crowd control. Sneaky has to come out of cover, immediately gets down. As I stated prior to the round, Ben, that's the best use of frag grenades, is just making people go where you want them to go, because they're a little easy to get away from.
Lava landing again, some great shots. He already found one down. He's has 2 players just trapped and pinned. There's nothing they can do. Crim calls for a little bit of an assistance, but again,
help.
His teammates are there saying, well, what do you want me to do? I'm trapped myself. There's Lava again just being such a nuisance Landing so many shots, you think you're safe. Don't peek, don't even move, because you will get hit.
Accuracy on point right now for Lava. He's got all 5 of his respawns still here in the second half. I know it's only the second round, but he's doing quite well. He's being kind of the anchor that his team needs, that rock that they can really depend upon. He's able to make shots where needed be. And look at the shock again. Morty's is down in that back corner. Hydron trying to move up into a position where he can get that down to kill with the Lancer, and they get sneaked down as well.
This is falling apart for Mazer.
You gotta move out of there, Lava. You're not any help in that overlook position when everybody's getting killed on the other side of the map.
Yeah, your angle isn't enough. As now a push comes through again. Exclusive will go down. Now he's definitely down and out for the count. Crazed with 1, Phelpsy with another. And still the 2-to-1 advantage. EU's Finest, they're not necessarily overextending too much here. They're more than happy to just keep the pressure on and keep the map as is.
As you said before, once they get that set up, they're willing to wait for Father Time to die.
Yep.
They said, well, you can do whatever you want. We'll be over here chilling with our 2 points a second.
Yeah, boom shot. It's also going to come into play here. A good defensive tool, if that's how you want to use it. Of course, it comes pretty good aggressively. But with how EU's Finest have played this map so far, 40 seconds left. At this point, you just want to try and milk some lives for Mazer because this round should be over.
Yeah, pull them into you, make them make a mistake. And if I was EU's Finest, which it looks like they're doing, they're going to get over to that E-Hill. Phelpsy sees that the call-outs come through. 3 members of Mazer on the side of that E-Hill. Here comes the first one. The boom shot waiting for Morty, though, will take him out. And again, Ben, they can't make anything happen.
This round is...
There it is.
This
Crowd control.
This round is basically all but over. And if you're Mazer here, nobody should be spawning in. Nobody.
Stop
Mortifies has 0 lives left. He's just spawned in there. So, for me, this is going to be damn near impossible. There's no way you win this round. It is impossible. You should hold your spawns and just concede. 6-3 the advantage for EU's Finest. So it seems to me they didn't do anything overly fancy, right, with their weapon placements. Nothing too ridiculous. But they painted the picture they wanted. They painted utility. That's what they needed. And you've seen just how good they are with it. Cross-map incense, cross-map shocks, you name it, they're throwing it, and they're making it work.
Sometimes you don't need all the frills and bells on something to make it look pretty. You can get down and dirty and do it the hard way. And they've done that every single round. They've gotten their hands in the mud. They're staying in the trenches. They are truly showing what 3D chess warfare would look like.
Yeah, they really are. Pistols down for Phelpsy. They don't want to change the map too much. They're very, very happy with how things are. And again, a 6-3 lead for the Europeans. One more round and they'll take map number 1.
Put something on there. They're gonna upgrade to their home. I think they got to go to drop. I think. Do they go ahead and do the upgrade?
Bear in mind, both teams have used a lock 2.
Smoke grenades.
Down low.
They've built up the other. They built up the secondaries for their home. Some more smoke. Some more utility. I'm still not sure. I don't know how to say this, but I don't know if they are using their utility as correctly, because when you're playing a team that seems to have mastered the utility, it's really hard to keep up with that. The pace that's being set by EU's Finest with shocks, with frags, with incense is just unparamount.
And you hate to call a player out, but Mortifies has died 22 times so far. He's down to 1 respawn again.
Frag into the boom. He rolls back and
he's
died.
Down to no respawns again.
So what was that magic number you and Blaze talked about if you died this many times?
What was it? It was like
32?
32, I think it was. Sounds about right.
I think Morty's trying to get as close as he can without getting there. I think that's what he's going for.
Doing well, as you said. No more respawns for him. For everyone else, Lava with 5, Hezi with 5.
Lava again, beautiful shots.
I mean, he's doing his best, but there comes a point where the strategy just isn't working.
There it is. They finally forced Phelpsy into a bad spot. I think that's the first time I've seen Phelpsy get pushed out of position.
Well, what can they do with it, though? Can they give themselves the advantage they need?
They will get the E-Hill at least.
Okay, so 2-0.
EU's Finest are finally going to make their way to their own home hill to try to get control of that. Flash out. Another flash out. Wasting, because he threw it at the bottom of the stairs thinking he was going to get pushed, but I don't know why he didn't have a teammate down there. I can't see on the x-ray if somebody else is down there. Yeah, they do. They have a secondary. They have 3 members over there, and nobody told him that nobody was pushing. He just wastes a flash.
Yeah. Well, That's ironic, because just to your point you made a few moments ago, wasting utility, not using it as well. That's a prime example right there. Grim shuts down Lava, though, as now maybe this could be a chance. Could be a chance here to really give Mazer a big opening, and maybe a chance to come back into map number 1. The reinforcements are coming.
There we go.
Both sides. Mortifies is down and out, by the way.
Yeah,
this is a 5v4.
5v4. I'd go ahead and waste this life if I'm Phelpsy. Respawn him, make it a 5v4. They get Exclusive down now as well, so Exclusive is going to have to possibly use another respawn. He'll be down to 3 if he does use that. He'll be matching Phelpsy.
If you're Mazer, you have to.
Yeah,
right?
you're on your back foot.
It's map point, right? You have to win this round, otherwise you lose the map.
Jack with a headshot kill there on Lava.
And it feels as if
Jack there with a kill on Hezi.
EU's Finest can be so patient here because they have the numerical advantage. They have a 5v4. They don't need to do anything fancy.
You
don't have to worry about
farming even a little bit because they're up by 3 rounds.
Maybe
this might be a little bit of a tactic here. Apply enough pressure to make Mazer waste the respawn. You get another kill.
You lose the round. It doesn't matter because their life count is going to be so low. Still, it will be Mazer that win this round as is. It will take 50 seconds to get there, but there's still the boom shot available on the side of EU's Finest. That, I believe, resides in Phelpsy's hands, if I'm not mistaken.
Shock out. They traded shocks. They said, here's mine, and he said, here's yours. Yeah.
Well,
they get the down, though.
That one.
Somebody's got to move up. You got to push now. You got to get at least 1 break, I believe.
And here's the key. If you want to try and save Lava, you may actually have to break your own positioning in your own setup, which could be an opening for EU's Finest. There's one player going for a big flank. You saw it on the other side, and he's actually being chased. Mazer are going to try and play for EU's Finest home hill as a security blanket for the round. This is a 1v1 that simply has to be won, and Sneaky seals the deal. A big fight from him. He saw all the pressure on the other side of the map, and he just ran straight at EU's Finest home hill. Phelpsy connects with a boom. Is anyone on the D hill or the E hill? Sadly, for EU's Finest, they're not. It wasn't pretty, but Mazer get the job done. 6-4.
They stay alive in map number 1, but at what cost? I'm at a loss for words with how many lives I believe have been just tossed to the wayside. We talked at the very top of the show with Ryan, Node Zero, about how every life matters, and right now the cherishable lives are not to be found. They are not coming out and being used effectively. I think that's one of the things that Mazer's going to have to probably use the time in between rounds or time in between maps to talk about, because this right now, you're still in map number 1, but if you lose this map number 1 because of how many lives you've had to throw away,
sure,
that's a long discussion with a short answer. Stop it.
And the crazy part is it's still very close, right? 6-4. There's a couple of rounds that you can look at and be like, well, we threw that away. But they've done well.
There you go. Mazer put the drop on their own home hill, so now they have a drop with 1 shot in it.
And no locks. We used the locks very early on, and this would have been a perfect time, I'm sure, if you were EU's Finest to say, well, we can lock it, but instead they say, we're fine. We'll counter it with a drop of our own.
Well, yeah, we'll give everybody explosive. 3 different rocket launchers on the map, if you'd like to say such a generic term for what the drop and the boom shot is. But
3 things that do explode, yeah.
Yeah, they go boom. They go boom.
Very powerful weapons. And again, to follow the storyline of lives, it's Hydron down to 2, but it is Mortifies again, because you get +1 life at the end of every round, back to 1. So essentially 2 deaths, and he is out of this round, and it'll be another
Lava again with the Marks for free. And he will take over that overlook position.
It's strange, though, because if you're EU's Finest, are you really all that bothered about it?
So this is what I'm saying. Not anymore now that I have the drop shot, because if I put any pressure on Lava up there and he's distracted, maybe shooting at somebody coming up the stairs, now you use the drop shot, take out Lava, take out the Marks player. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to rotate that drop shot over, and Phelpsy with it in his back pocket. They're going to get him up into this U area. He's got to look for where Lava is or is not, because I think Lava is as well going for information. Everybody right now playing just a pure information game.
I'm going to send Hydron in first. And that's the fight.
There you go. You got him distracted.
Well, they know where Phelpsy is now.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't get the shot off in time. He wasn't in the right cover to be able to get that shot as Lava came down the steps waiting for him.
Would have been a nice concept and a nice theory, but still, mid-neutral hill yet to be capped. That's a freebie. Exclusive. You want it. See, I'm going to be honest, as good as that was, the other drop shot baited out, and advantage EU's Finest. You would have loved to have targeted Mortifies maybe there, put him down to that
Lava's
final
down,
life.
though. Lava ends up getting taken down in this and taken off the map, so Lava on respawn. Boom. Exclusive has used one. He gets the boom shot now.
Can he get out, though?
They're going to get the E-Hill. They're going to get the boom. Both teams have wasted their drop. They're both on respawn. 1 full minute before both of those come back up. So I believe at this point you go advantage EU's finest. And we also got to find out where exactly Morty is, because he's got to be hiding in the bag.
I think
that's got to be the call. Save his life.
Just stay alive. You cannot afford to die. But the problem is, as time ticks on, it is going to be Mazer that need to make the play. He will at some point need to have an impact on this round to stay alive in map number 1. The rest of his teammates, however, looking to try and go for the play. The push is coming through, the kill as well.
They got to save that though. How in the world do you run up some stairs with Lancers in your back and you get away with it? That should be punished every time. Exclusive now, fighting Jack. Finally, Phelpsy rolls over with that Voltok in hand, making some clean shots, making easy work of those last 2 members of Mazer that made that push there at the overlook side. And no booms left, so he's going to trade that out for that Marksa. Both drop shots have officially respawned, though, on the map.
And now, EU's finest will take the lead.
Nades as well for EU's finest back as well.
They have everything to defend a 2-to-1 hill setup. 35 seconds until this is over, and we can start talking about map number 2. Mazer need something.
I think they have to go for a full flip. I think they have to send basically every resource but maybe one to one side. Let Morty sit there and use the drop shot on whoever might be trying to reflip the map. He uses it long range.
Oh!
Connection with Hydrone. Drop shot on the ground. You see Krim. He's gonna pick that. He's gonna pick that up.
But is it the opening? Is it going to be enough? You've got 7 seconds. E is being decapped. Is there anyone over towards the F hill? That's going to be crucial. Can they touch it? Can they prolong map number 1? Or is EU's finest done enough? Lava was down but couldn't crawl close enough to the hill. EU's finest take map 1, 7-4.
The game of patience pays off for EU's finest. You hear the clapping coming out. You see some fist bumps there on the side of EU's finest. And I think really the name of that game was just simply, we have to get what we want. They got out to the setup, and then once they had their setups, they felt comfortable. They were sitting pretty. If the name of the game against EU's finest is not allowing them to be comfortable.
Completely agree, and I think one of the key points you brought up, Colin, is maybe it might be worth having a conversation about life preservation. Mortifies too many times, leaving his team in a 4 versus 5. But EU's finest take map number 1. We'll be right back after this with game 2 to see if they can close out the series.
I'm watching the back to our side, right, Sneaky, push the right, Sneaky, push it, baby! Oh my!
Well played, Matt.
Yeah, well played. Hey, that was a big run.
Yeah,
let's go, baby. Let's shit, bro. Bring the shit back, bro. Take the lead, bro.
Wait,
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Over. Good round, boys. Hey, round point, map point. Let's go, baby.
Grim lighting up that main stage in round number 1. Phelpsy with the save. Oh!
Sleepy time's like absolutely massive.
It's gonna be 3 for Hydro. This is great stuff from EU's finest.
EU's finest has always had this swagger about them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the E-League Summer Series Invitational. Benson and Colin up in the Boost Mobile caster desk. And what a series we have. And I want to dial this all the way back to one of the first things you said when you joined me up here, which was, I'm curious to see if we'll see completely different play styles. Well, we got your answer after map number 1. Completely different play style in this series than what we got in the first.
I believe a lot of people at home got their wish. We've gotten to see different play styles. We've gotten to see a deeper meta. We've gotten to see teams make an identity for themselves. And I think it's not going to stop there, because you're not only going to have to get your own identity, you're going to have to be able to counter other people's identities. Yes. So you're going to see completely different playbooks. It's almost like beautiful defenses in football. What my offensive can do against your defense. I love that kind of concept of how do I counter what you do best.
I like that a lot. That's a very good analogy right there. And I'm curious to see if the European play style, as is right now, will A, evolve, and what will it evolve into, and B, what does it counter? And finding out exactly what those counters to each other's play styles really are.
So far, I think EU's play style really counters Mazer's aggression. I think this was the worst matchup number 1 for Mazer. They needed to play against a Rise, play against a Reciprocity, a team that might be able to go toe-to-toe with them in the level of aggression that they want to be able to use. But they haven't found that. They found a team that said, well, we've got a lead, we're just going to sit back.
Well, for game 2, we go over to a map which if you're a Gears fan, you're probably very, very familiar with it.
Wait,
It was
what?
only
What is this?
The most played map of
I've never
Gears
seen
4.
this map before in my life.
Foundation will be map
It's called
number
what?
2. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Foundation. Who would have guessed it? This, as we said, a map which everyone is super familiar with. And I do want to point out, when the teams were practicing over the past few days, and even in the seeding tournament, the Swiss tournament, everyone was playing the new maps because you have so much repetition on some of these older maps. Everyone knows what to do, right? Yes, the game has changed a little bit, and things will change as time goes on. But you know every angle, you know every spot, everything you need to know. You played it for 2 years, basically, right? You should be good. You should be good at Foundation by now.
Are you sure it wasn't a million years? I feel like I played this map quite often, but I'm going to go ahead and say the biggest change to this map now, other than just how the weapons vary, the weapons happen, the placements on the home hills, having a weapon there on your first half home hill is massively different. So that could play a very big factor here early in this map number 2, which is Foundation. And as you see, we still kind of get a 2-2 setup there, like a 2-2-1 coming out for both teams. 2 into the cave, 2 to the mid cut, 1 to each side of the homes. And early access being given to Mazer Gaming on EU's side of the map.
EU's finest up 1-0 in the series after their map 1 victory. Here in map 2, they'll be the blue squad. Mazer, our red team. It's Phelpsy on your screen looking for his first elimination. Hasn't died yet either. And he's trying to hunt down anyone he can from Mazer. It is EU's finest with a lead. 10 points to 5. Still, the big fight over the mid-neutral hill continues.
And nobody can really push forward because you're not fast enough as you were in Gears 4 to get to those spots and get those shots in. And there's not 10 smokes to be thrown out. Big back A there, out by Jack, getting that kill. So as soon as he took that cover, he flicked down his left stick, pulled that right trigger, and when that shotgun flicks around that corner, if you pull the trigger just right, you're gonna connect with a hell of a lot of pellets, and you're gonna get a hell of a lot of damage.
That's exactly what you saw, and because of that, B was capped. Now the pressure on to C comes through. Is this going to be a round 1 on domination? The smoke is enough, but the rollback and the kill. Still pressure, and this is where if you're Mazer, do not spawn in. Hold your respawns. There is no point wasting.
All too familiar setting, and you see Lava will be the last member of Mazer that spawns up. Everybody else finally getting the message. Save our lives.
Now, if you really, really wanted to, if you're EU's finest, you could have all hopped off the hill.
Played rock, paper, scissors. Well, thumbs up right now. You don't have that many emotes, but I mean, you know, looking in the future, baby. I'm looking in the future.
Could have maybe tried to farm a little more lives, because considering how respawn happy Mazer were in map 1, could have maybe exploited that a little bit there, but doesn't matter too much. EU's finest take round 1.
Somebody that was amazingly good at conserving their life all throughout Gears 4 was Sneak, and I think if anybody on that team probably could have had that kind of impact, an NCAA athlete, a stand-up gentleman, a guy that's got a great head on his shoulders in Sneaky, probably looked down that line and said, guys, we got to stop throwing these away. If we want to be able to contend with them throughout the entirety of the map, we got to have resources and lives to use later on.
He was probably looking at Mortifies when he said it.
I don't want to say he was looking at him. He might have been like in the direction with one eye a little bit on him, like creeping on him.
Well,
I mean, he is right there, so you're right. He probably was. He probably was just like this, 90, just 90 degree. Sir.
After round number 1, everyone with max respawns. So Mazer do a good job of holding them, not giving them away. But it was, as we said, EU's finest that took that round number 1. Triple cap domination. Very well played round.
So Mazer immediately abide to give themselves extra grenades in a player's loadout so they don't have to go and pick them up, whereas EU's finest immediately started building up their home hill, sneaking out, caught in a bad position.
Pretty tough. Jack and Craze both find picks as he's still looking to buy a little bit of time as he backs away. Well, he's valued his life well, but the problem is both Crazed and Jack want to try and take this fight. It's about keeping that spacing, keeping the damage down. Hezi wants to try and take one down with him. He'll be unable to do so. Jack cleans the kill up. Beast still neutral as the fight continues.
There must be a little bit of turtle wax in the back pocket of EU's finest, because right now their rotations are so clean and so nice and so crisp.
It's just fast, right? It's decision making, and it's making sure you don't waste any time as Jack again flies forward. Mortifies will fall as another player down, and they're going to leave him for a few moments as they push straight over towards Mazer. Bear in mind, Eagles Finest not too worried about the hill just yet. They wanted to fly through, see if they could try and pick up a couple of kills. Now they'll secure the B hill. 2-1 hill advantage. They'll start building that lead.
One member of Mazer was on top street and has had now to rotate back to their own home hill because he realized that he might have gotten pushed by 2, but you're gonna see the rotation coming out by East Finest. They got 2 there in the welding. Now they've got 2 inside the cave with the last member playing that last line of defense there at their own home hill. With that utility, I believe it's a flashbang grenade there on their home. Here comes the shots, here comes the shotguns. And 1 kill will be found by Mazer, so they're gonna break this setup a little bit.
They are being pinched. The collapse was coming through from mid-map. Phelps and Hydron instantly react. Sneaky needs to be careful. He doesn't stay a little too long.
Ooh. Sneaky gets away just for a moment. He's gonna be able to get his life back. They might have shut this down. Exclusive goes up into that clutch spot and gets a kill there on Hydron, and then Sneaky allows Phelpsy to run headfirst into the barrel of his Nasher, which met him with a good hello.
That was a nice moment there for Mazer, to be honest. They were able to retake the B hill and get a couple of kills to their name as well. Over 60 seconds until this round will be over based off the current conditions.
Here they come. Here comes the possible threat.
Well, they answered it. 2 kills very quickly for EU's Finest, and Hezzy's put himself in a position now where he's going to get all the information, but he may need to find a kill, or at least back away and play his life.
Hezzy on that back pillar. He knows that he's got at least 1 going through. He still had his Nasher out. He took a shot at him, trying to get as much damage as he could. He's going to push up, though. He's going to try to get this kill here on Craze.
Oh! Craze says, no, 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 no. Lava goes down. Hydron's there to the rescue. He's also going to get picked up. He was so quick to assist his teammate. The B hill should surely be broken when EU's Finest decide to hop on it. Meanwhile, Sneaky thinking about overextending, but he's running straight into Crim. Crim with the down.
They're spawning him out. They're spawning him out. Look, they still haven't cleaned him up. They're letting him lay there on the ground until he either commits suicide or somebody tries to come and save him. Don't fall for the bait.
And Sneaky concedes his life himself. I don't want any of that. 210, 223. EU's Finest will win this round in 18 seconds. Hezzy has to push forward, but Craze is ready and waiting through the smoke.
But A's get decapped. They rotated perfectly around. Again, just it's like EU's Finest is just a hair ahead of them on their concept.
Another great rotation. It was Hydron again making the plays in this round. And 2 seconds is over. EU's Finest are playing chess. Mazer's playing checkers.
And I've yet to hear anybody scream "King me," so I'm pretty sure Mazer is down 2-0 at this point in the matchup. But I see EU's Finest. They're taking their sips of water. They're trying to get their thoughts together going into round 3. What should we place? Because we've won the round again. We can just continue to build up our home hill, make it something even more drastically powerful over there. Whereas on the side of Mazer, look at this: Sneaky leaning forward, Lava lean forward, Exclusive now leaning forward into his monitor. You can hear that there's got to be a lot of chatter going on. There's got to be a lot of conversations happening because you're on your back foot, single elimination, and that's the last place you want to be on Saturday, Ben.
Yeah, it's not nice, that's for sure. Marks are down, drop shot down mid-map. Nice little decision there for Mazer, but still the marks are alone. So much damage. Also mortifies down to 2 respawns already.
Again, I'm not sure if that conversation even happened now, based on the result.
I'm a little worried myself, but it's EU's Finest with a nice advantage so far here in map 2. And we're listening with Mazer in map 1. I'd love to listen to the European boys here in game 2.
I down one again. One shot though, fuck. Oh my god.
I can't shoot, bro.
Yeah, I gotta get out this spot.
You
I'm going to Capper Hill.
Yeah, I'm leaving this.
Up.
Quim. Down.
You're good.
Watch out. You're good. Let's go, boys. Have some fun.
I'm about to go top cat.
Yo, have some fun, boys. Have some fun with this shit.
Go B? Okay. Let's go.
Have some fun with
I have a smoke, Jeff.
Watch secret moves.
In front of me. I'll flash you too.
No more jobs.
Six, you gotta go.
I took two.
I only have one leg. You gotta play.
Right side mid. There's that B.
He's still here.
Looking at mid. I don't see
He's rolling up.
I've got the phone. Yeah.
Is it close? Sneaky's close.
Yeah.
Hey, watch the home push.
They're gonna play hill. I'm helping our hill.
Yeah. Commit. Am I holding this?
I'm Lancer spot. Alright, I'm with Ben.
This is one shot. Yeah, I've got no fucking.
I'm sitting with a shotty.
I'm bricking them with
I'm
shot.
gonna push us.
Yeah.
Just run back. One just run
Go,
back.
go.
Pick up mid.
Use it. Use smoke. Use flash as well.
Nice. Good shit. Good play.
Run now, sit back on B, sit back.
Sit back.
Your one's in middle, open, boys. Wait, can we kill him?
I can shoot him.
Maybe shoot him.
Let him go. 3 on the H. 3 on the H.
I can't shoot.
Wait, only one on the
Wait,
hill.
pinch open, can we?
I've got it.
No, there's 3 in B. There's 3 in B. That's why. One pushing me. Well played, Will. One shot on me. One shot on the left. On the right. He's actual heart.
One shot.
Nice.
On the hill. Last kid on the hill.
I'm pushing it. I'm gonna shoot him from top fountain.
Wait, no need. Look at this.
Okay,
Let them respawn though if they are.
One shot.
That kid.
Done.
Nice.
This is an absolute slaughter.
That
yo.
is
Let's-
terrorizing, boys.
Absolutely.
They let you only know to fight shit. That's it. Hey, they don't know discipline. Literally.
I love what we've just heard from EU's finest. You just called it really the last sentence at the very end there is, we're just more disciplined. We're just more disciplined. And I think the key was you heard the coach Rubix as well say, have some fun. Have some fun with this round. They set everything up perfectly. Even at the end as well when they said, don't kill him yet, let them respawn. And Mazer, they respawned. Again, giving away their lives. I understand it's a new mechanic. I get that. But there comes a point where you have to look at it and be like, guys.
You said 2 of the 4 quotes that stood out to me. You said the 2 about let them respawn. You said, we're more disciplined. We also heard have some fun.
Yep.
I mean, you got mid-map, all of a sudden a drop shot comes out, they get the first kill.
I'll have some fun.
I'll have some fun with it. I'll just have some fun. And then as soon as they got that first kill and Mazer had to slow up a little bit, the next thing out of their mouth was sit back. They knew that Mazer had to either push or die in that entrapment after that drop shot landed. They sat back. They allowed 2 of them to push up. Shotguns out. You had a Lancer and 2 shotties. It was all bad news bears.
This is, and I'm going to use the quote from the players, incredibly disciplined from EU's finest. They are playing this by the book, and as by the book as they possibly can. And Mazer don't seem to have an answer. They will, of course, have a drop shot to try and make something happen, but I think the other thing we didn't even really talk upon was just the actual communication itself. It was cool, calm, collected. There was no panic. It was crisp. Everything that needed to be said was said. And, well, this round might actually be over. I would wait for someone to spawn, and then you would kill Mortifies, or you could even just leave him down if you wanted to.
Hydro not only killed the drop shot player after he stood up, then turned around and embarrassed the kid on statue and still had Mortifiers crawling around and Sneaky trying to make something happen. We'll get to crawl into the hill for just a moment, but they go for the triple cap because even in the 4th round, even with the spawns as quick as they are, it took less than a minute for them to eliminate most of the enemy team.
This is EU's finest just respecting our time, Colin.
I think that's what it is.
That's what this is. They could have farmed even more lives if they really wanted to, but they said, well, we know Benson hasn't eaten yet, so we'll try and get map 2 done and dusted as quick as can.
I think what it is Phelpsy has acclimated to NA time, and it's about 3:21, and Mr. T and Crumpets himself, the player who is good every single day of the week, I think he's ready for tea time.
Might be. 4-0. This is cruise control. Utter obliteration here in game 2. Mazer really not bringing anything to the table. They have been outclassed.
Mark's placed down by Mazer, trying to. I think again, it's just they're trying to figure out what they have to do to counter EU's finest, because EU's finest in that round, they play some marks as well. So you see marks is out for both teams. The shock's now on the side of EU's finest as well. I can't think of the words to describe what it is to be that far behind your opponent. Like, the thought process is just not there.
It's thought process, it's rotation, it's conceptual.
It's like every aspect of the game that you'd expect to be on par.
Yeah.
It's not there. It's like they're making the EU's finest is making birdie left and right, and you're just chugging along.
Yep, that's pretty much how it feels in game 2. Game 1, not necessarily the case. However, even then you can make the big case. The utility usage was just significantly better. There's round 5 underway. Only 1 hill capped. It's Mazer's home hill. EU's finest not really in any significant rush to cap their home hill. There is a player I want to point out just next to it. Finally decides, all right, enough's enough. I'll grab it.
Fine.
Lead.
If
right.
you say so.
Oh, I was hoping one of you would get it. No.
You're taking me out of the fight, guys. You're taking me out of the fight.
Not that there was really much of a fight anyway at the start of this round. Again.
And you see EU's Finest have 2 members down there at Pistons. They're finally going to step on the B hill. So it looks like EU finally get the 2-to-1 hill advantage. The 1v1 will be challenged, though, at home. Sneaky pushes up. He gets called out. They rotate Phelpsy back. Exclusive has taken out Jack, so the setup might be broken for just now. You see the B hill still uncapped. Mazer with a 20-point lead simply because, as you stated earlier, EU's Finest felt no need to get their own.
They have to. Still a small advantage, but now the damage is coming out. The DPS from Phelpsy just a little too strong, but Sneaky will run up on him. Find that pick.
They've got him collapsed on him. He got stuck in the middle of nowhere. He was a rat in a cage. He couldn't fly out of there in time, and you see him get taken down and out by Craze. Nice little meat shield action by him. High drone now taking over top street.
Sneaky just trying his best to distract elsewhere on the map, give his teammates an advantage over towards B.
Drop shot in hands, though.
That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a very big problem, especially if they are able to cap the B hill. There is also a player from Mazer down over towards their own home hill.
He's gotten picked up now.
Okay.
Push got the 2 hills, so in about 20 seconds, maybe 15 to 20 seconds, you'll see the point lead get taken over for EU's Finest.
And keep your eye, of course, on Craze here. He's the player with a drop shot. He's rotating from left to right. He gets the call out. They're pushing B. Well, that's licensed now to maybe push over towards the home hill. Connects with Hezi with the drop, and well, there's number 2. Bye-bye, Exclusive. There's the home hill as well. EU's Finest putting on a show.
Crazed doing crazy things.
I do want to point out, because we haven't touched on this, he is 24-1. Phelpsy is 17-2.
Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun, Colin. Let's have some fun.
Let's be disciplined. The life conservation is
incredible,
astoundingly different in conceptions of these teams.
Well, they now have a couple of players trapped and push down towards B, but then you expect the collapse to come through.
And the best part is, since there's not rolling respawns, they know that nobody's going to be coming out from behind them all of a sudden. Here comes the shock. It's got him trapped. Oh, no.
It's just pure evil from Phelpsy.
You have nowhere to go.
Completely trapped. And with 20 seconds left, Phelpsy says, well, I'm done playing with my food. I'll back away. I don't even want to kill him just yet. We haven't
had enough fun.
Trapped. Yeah, exactly, right? There's nowhere they can go.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. EU's Finest will skin your hide.
It's now a 5-0 advantage in game 2. We mentioned how good they are when it comes to maybe just playing the game a little differently. You're seeing it here, back to Foundation.
A little?
I mean, comparatively speaking, yeah. It's a very different performance.
So you're down 5-0, single elimination. You're on your back foot. You've already down a map. You got 2 rounds left. If I'm Mazer, I'm gonna see if I can plug Vora into a 6th Xbox. I need the guy.
It's do or die time.
That's right.
It's do or die time for Mazer. After a very close game 1, not at all what I expected coming into map 2. A block comes in.
Disabling the Marksa, and maybe they're just back and forth. Yep, both Marksas now disabled, taking a little bit away of that utility, but they still have the shocks, basically their favorite play toy here in maps 1 and 2. They've done everything and anything they wanted to with them, whether it be crowd control, whether it be downs, whether it be making them make the bad decision.
Or just trapping them in a corner.
Trapping them in a corner. I was going to leave that alone. I didn't think we could bring that back up.
No, I feel like we should, because EU's Finest have really been tremendous here in game 2, and the scoreline reflects it as well. 5-0, the kills, the elims, the deaths, the praise, 25-1. I honestly, I'd love to see the scoreboard just all around, just to see how vastly different it is.
1-4, 2-2, 8, 11, 11, 9.
I mean, 1 and 9 for Mortifies. Again, I hate to be that guy that calls him out, but it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
With the 8 best teams in the world, it's not good enough.
I mean, that's the point.
You're not calling anybody out, you're just stating the obvious.
Stating the facts. Well, drop shot picked up again by EU's Finest as they look to go 6-0 up at the half. Crazed is just tagging everyone up. In terms of damage, he's done his fair share this round already. Jack's all by himself.
Shock out.
Good for a shot. Now the support's going to come through. He's just completely outplayed, outclassed, outpositioned Mazer. They thought we have a 3v1, push our numbers. Little did they know EU's finest were ready and waiting for the push.
Way back in the day, there was an achievement for a Gears game called Said the Spider to the Fly, and every time Mazer has been the fly in this map number 2.
Yes, they have. 2-to-1 hill advantage secured for EU's finest. It's C and B. As they wait patiently, as they have all series. And I think this is the key for me is sometimes, or more so last year, right, Colin? When teams have big leads, it tended to get a little crazy in terms of momentum, and you could see the pace of the game was reflected in that. And that's when mistakes can happen. When you go against your playstyle and against your game plan, and you play differently because of momentum and because of maybe just adrenaline, if nothing else, excitement, that's when all of a sudden you start making sloppy mistakes. EU's finest has done none of that. They're 5-0 up. They had a chance, a very realistic chance there, where they could have just flown across the map to Mazer's home hill and put pressure on. Instead, they say, nope, we know this is working. We're sticking with this playstyle. And if nothing else, I imagine that's very, very annoying for Mazer.
Big team kill coming out, though. But Mazer, I think, is more annoyed by the fact that what you've seen happen is that not only were they patient enough, they read them like a book. Mazer still went for a triple cap. They still flew and put pressure on EU's finest, even with a 2-to-1 hill advantage. Instead of sitting back and letting EU's finest try to make the same mistakes they did, they continued to make their own mistakes.
Yeah, it's playing into exactly what EU's finest won, as B and C will be recapped up. 153 to 125. Round over in 50 seconds, unless Mazer can try and make a play.
I mean, I don't think EU's finest could have made it more obvious that they were going to sit back and let Mazer come to them, especially down 2-1 and nobody's moving out of the cave area.
Well, you'd think that would be obvious. Soon.
Flashbangs out. Phelpsy still hanging out. He's got at least one shot left in that boom drop shot, but there's another drop shot in the hands of Hydrone.
Now, bear in mind, if they don't take B quickly, EU's finest can sit back on one hill, which
no, they've got more time than you. They've got to fly to C. It's too little, too late. It literally went from 15 seconds to 20.
And that's why they don't actually cap B. They realize that time is of the essence. They have to push. They have to go now, but they're running into a wall of Europeans ready and waiting for the fight. The res comes through. Hydrone, I believe, should be pushing back over. It's exclusive. The last man for Mazer. He goes down.
Little no action, baby.
There's a thumbs up
Way to
from
go,
Grim.
baby.
Good job, teammate. 6-0 at the half. It couldn't be more one-sided if they tried.
Do they really need a wall, though? Because aren't most of them boys from the island? They got a built-in natural defense. They got a whole moat around them.
Yes, that's true.
I'm just, geographically speaking, baby.
You're right. You're right. Well, we do have Hadrian's Wall.
That's right. There you go.
See? We have a wall.
We have a wall.
It's a pretty old wall, but it's a wall.
It's there. It's still standing, baby.
6-0, the score for EU's finest. And again, you cannot compliment Europeans enough in terms of just valuing their life, minimal mistakes, teamwork. It almost looks as if this is the first time Mazer's played the game, and EU's finest have been playing it for 3 weeks. That's how this feels.
There's the flash out there, and they're going to finally use that flash to try to break down into this closed area, or what we used to call open. You see there on the pillar, 2 of them die, but you see Hezi kill Mortys. And even with the flashes out, even with the beautiful movement into that area, they're going to be able to probably set up here on that drop shot. And there comes the COG elimination, and that is 7-0. Swift map 2.
I want to point out, Craze has just stood up and gone bye-bye and waved goodbye to Mazer. And rightfully so, because they will be bowing out of the E-League Summer Series Invitational. Didn't go very far, but the Europeans progressed through after a great performance, and that round was over as quickly as you could blink.
Quick as the hiccup is one of my favorite sayings in the world, and you saw the movement come in, and I think it was capped off as much as Morty threw away lives in first and second map. One of his teammates didn't help with that by blasting him in the back. That was Hezi team killing Morty down there in the open area. And EU's finest just capitalized. Every mistake, every time they were given an inch, they took a couple miles.
And I guess that leads the question now. You can do it against Mazer, but can you do it against the best teams in the world? Your Rex, your Ghosts, your Toxes. That's the question on, I'm sure, many European minds right now, as it is my own. But congratulations, of course, to EU's finest. They progress through. We'll be back after this quick break with the Analyst Desk to break down all the action.
Oh boy, this shit is not over, bro. I just want everybody to literally take it 1 round at a time.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You've seen this. This is what is this? This is an absolute slaughter.
That
Yo,
is
let's go,
terrorizing,
boys.
boys.
Absolute.
Bro, I'm about to tweak, bro. I've got 2 on me. I got 2.
Oh, kill them both! Good. Well played, Jack.
It's over.
Oh, this is so.
Oi, these are getting absolute violated.
Hit it.